Welcome to Attingo Talks. My name is Diana Feliz. Joyce Padilla with me here. How are you guys doing? We hope you guys are great. It's getting beautiful in Toronto. It's getting really nice. The sun is shining. So we're here bringing key financial insights, and we're going to have a really nice conversation today. We're talking about what keeps you up at night when we're talking about your finance. Joyce,
Yes,
what
we are.
keeps you up at night?
Well, thankfully, not a lot of things keep me up at night.
Ooh,
So
with all
it's
this,
all good, but I'm interested to find out what keeps other people up at night when it
yes,
does come to their finances, for
yes,
sure. So that is the topic of today.
that's right. So we're going to welcome Carolina Familia. She's a mompreneur, mom of three. She's working her own business from home, and she is helping other women make money on their spare time. That's not bad. So let's welcome Carolina. Where are you at? Hola.
I'm
Hello, Carolina.
good.
So Carolina, how are you doing?
I'm well. How about you guys?
Good. We're really happy. You know, Carolina and us, we go way back, right,
Yep,
Carolina?
tiny. Yep.
And so, Carolina, we want to have this conversation with you. You know, we're in the middle of coronavirus. There's a lot of changes going on, and we seem to be feeling a greater risk in different types of areas of our life, right? And other people are telling me, as we're speaking on the phone with clients and things, that they're worried about if they get affected, how they're going to continue paying their bills, what's going on if their income gets, reduced and changed and things like that. Are these things that concern you?
Yes, definitely. So I'm a single mom of three kids. So I am very fortunate, thank you God, that I still have a full-time job. I'm working on my home business on my spare time as well. So I do have an income, but it comes with the territory. Having three kids, you're always worried about what's going to happen with them. Am I doing enough for them? Can I provide for their needs? One's going to college soon, one's going to need braces, one's going to need this or that. There's so many different concerns for them. So yeah, I'm always worried, like, am I doing enough? Will I have enough to look after them? And especially if I get sick, right? If I were to lose my job, which is possible now. So yeah.
Anything is possible right now. In fact, that is exactly one of the things that we want to really understand, because a lot of people, we plan for the best, right? We want to make sure that we have that bright future, the retirement, and all that good stuff. But there's unexpected events, and this is the most incredible experience that I think we've all got to experience, how life can change in like a second.
Exactly.
And it just changes, the unexpected happens, and then it's like, what do you do? How does everything continue normal? And so if it concerns you, if you do lose your income, your beautiful children get impacted directly.
Exactly. Yes.
They do.
So Carolina, is there so knowing that and considering that, think about that, is there a plan, or do you have, like, how are you going to mitigate that if something were to happen where you don't have that income anymore, or you're affected with a sickness, or even worse, right? Do you have anything in mind? Have you ever thought about planning in the future for a circumstance like that?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about that for quite a while. I have strategically thought about this. One of my decisions last year was actually to move in to the same household where my parents are at. Now, this is because, I wanted to make a career change, so just to get that support. But if I were to lose a job, I would have at least someone who would be able to help me. I've also started contributing to my savings, that I have in my individual savings plan. For medical, I do have coverage through work, but again, if I don't have work, I have a personal kind of medical disability coverage that can help as well. But is that enough? Probably not. I would probably need a bit more if something did happen and work is not going to help you out. But I've been up
So
for 12 years now. I hope I hope there is some help there, but you just never know.
is this a topic that you love to talk about or a topic that you hate to talk about?
Nobody likes talking about this at all. It's something you
I
need
love
to
it.
say.
I love it, Carol. I love it.
You're
Yeah,
unique.
yeah. No, no, no. I completely understand. And there's a lot of people like you, Carolina, that don't want to talk about it. And you know what? I'm very proud of you that you actually took the
Yeah.
time to like really think that and plan for that. Because a lot of people don't, because they don't like to talk about it, they don't even go there. So I'm really proud that you've done it. So I'd love to know like what made you do that? Like what were you
Yeah.
thinking that made you say, let me, prepare myself and plan for this?
It was more just trying to improve myself, improve my situation. I have started a part-time business as well, to kind of one day transition from work to this full-time to this business. It's just that transition time. I would like to move on to a different phase in my life, and a different career, and a different job, and a different task. So having that support was smart. I needed to do something like that. I think it's just not good to decide, I don't like where I am right now, I'm just gonna quit and do something else. You have to have like a transition plan, and that's what I was working towards.
So you're talking about, I'm sorry, because you depend on your work's, insurances and all that stuff, being able to be independent, you had to kind of have that protection, right? And that
Yeah.
peace of mind is that what you're talking about? Okay.
Exactly. You always have to have, you have to make sure you have your insurance. Like I've never, like, before having kids, I didn't think insurance was necessary. I'm like, that's just putting money away, that only the banks will profit from that. But after having kids, I'm like, okay, who's gonna look after my kids when I'm gone? Like, am I leaving them to the wolves to defend for themselves? I need something in place for them so I know that they're being looked after. So having an insurance, it was vital. If you're a mom and you don't have insurance with your kids as beneficiary, you're doing them an injustice. You definitely need that. You never know what will happen. So yeah, an insurance, medical, disability. Kids are kids, right? My daughter used to break her foot or her arm or something every year. It just happens, right? You can't, they don't sit still. So you have to plan for stuff like that as well. And it's pricey. Our health coverage only covers so much, right?
Yeah, that's right. So tell me about your life insurance. Do you know what you have?
Good. I think I
Like just
believe I
out
have
of,
an amount. I used to have it was covering like $1 million when my kids were like really small, and I got it reassessed now that they're older, and it's not covering as much anymore. It's less than that right now. So we do have insurance in place. Yeah.
so how was your experience when you got that? Was it an enjoyable experience? Did it give you does it really give you peace of mind when you do acquire it?
I think after you have the plan in place, it's definitely a peace of mind. You have to make sure it's updated and you know where it is. Don't just leave it randomly somewhere so no one knows about it. Let people know about it. For myself, the process wasn't too easy because I was overweight at that time, so they did kind of charge me a little bit more for that. But they go, hey, if you lose 50 pounds, we'll lower it by five. I don't know by how much. I'm like, great, I'm on that. So it
Yeah,
was,
and just for everyone out there, things that affect when you do get insurance, it is your smoking status, it
yeah,
is your age, right? So
yeah,
every day that you pass, it's a higher premium.
exactly.
The amount of insurance that you do take does also affect that,
Yeah,
and at the same time, your actual health, right?
yeah,
Depending on what your health history could be. But because of COVID right now, there's a lot of insurance that are relaxing certain requirements, and they're allowing this non-face-to-face insurance to happen, be all online, less medicals or just questions,
yeah,
things like that. So there's a lot more ways to be able to get the protection without having to go through so much scrutiny
yeah,
like probably before.
yes.
But definitely those are influential factors. So are you happy with where you are at right now, having taken care of those things?
Yeah, definitely. It gives you peace of mind. You're not as worried. I think probably putting a bit more into my savings and get me a little bit more comfortable. But at least health-wise, for the safety of my kids' future, I know, it is not so bad. Like, if something were to happen, they're there. They also have the support of the grandparents. I've listed them in the insurance as their caregivers. So they have that support. So yeah, I'm very happy that I have that. Yeah.
So we got a question here from Cater. He says, how are you, he says, single mom working from home must be kind of challenging nowadays. How are you handling kids at home? I think he wants some advice.
Very
I think he does.
Well, some of two of my daughters are very self-dependent. They just need a little bit of encouragement for homework. My son, I have to be his personal tutor. So, I've brushed up on my calculus and algebra. But it's a bit of a challenge. We've implemented a chore charts where they can help now with like chores and tasks around the house and cooking and cleaning. So that has helped. But I think get a schedule in place, get a map out exactly what's going to happen, or else your day will just be crazy and nothing will happen.
There you go, Cater.
Right.
Now you know. Get your stuff in, get your schedules in order. So, Carol, listen, we really love your insights. I know that you one takeaway for me was when you did have your dependents, your kids.
Yes.
Everything changed for you. And I think that's a big game changer for all of us when we have kids, right? Now it's not just about ourselves, it's about them and protecting them. And that's what life insurance is protecting your loved ones if in case you are not here anymore, especially if they depend on your income. And that's what it is. So there's so many different options. And for everyone who thinks it's the most expensive thing out there, it's not necessarily the case. Right?
Exactly.
I don't know. I know you said it was a little pricey.
Right. No, it's been easier. I got it addressed now, and it's lower. But I mean, the amount you spend on that, you spend on pizza. Every other day, every other week.
That's what I was gonna say. It can be almost as a cup of coffee a day, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You spend so much money on different stuff, on items you don't need, and this is much more useful.
That's right. And go ahead, Joyce.
No. Go ahead, because I was gonna.
You're gonna close this off. We're gonna close this off. But just one of the things is that when we're making our plans, this is one of the less expensive ways, even though it might be, has a number on it. Yeah. But it's one of the things that will drastically set you back, like your biggest setback in any financial plan or any plans that you have in the future in a second, if it's not done while you are healthy and while you are alive. Right? So good for you, Carol. Our hats off to you. We hope that more women like you, do the things that are necessary, especially during this time where we're more exposed to risk, right? So hopefully you can help us get some more information so we can continue, get your thoughts out so we can share it with more women just like you.
And talking about women, we're doing a webinar. We've done webinars in the past, and which, by the way, thank you everyone for participating in that webinar. It was managing cash flow disruptions. So it was awesome. And we have one coming up next month that is just for ladies.
Nice.
So what do you think about that, Carolina? I think that's going to be.
Yes, women
women power. Sorry, guys. But no, this one is going to be just for ladies. So more information to come on that.
Yeah, there you go. So thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you again soon right here on Attingo Talks.
Thank you.